When goldfish turn black. Goldfish are a very popular pet for people of all ages, but when they start to turn black it can be a real shock. You may not know what is causing this color change, and you might think that your fish is dying. In this short article, Georgia Pet Sitters will explain the most common causes of high ammonia levels in aquariums, as well as how to treat the problem with home remedies and medications available at any pet store near you. When goldfish turn black. Why is my goldfish turning black? 1. A natural fin color change. Goldfish are able to change their coloration depending on what is going around them. When the water becomes darker, goldfish with dark skin pigments start showing up. These fish also have cells in their scales which produce melanin and cause black or brown stains that you'll find when cleaning your tank by mistake. Because it can't get rid of this stuff without some serious scrubbing power. Don't worry, though it won't damage any other parts. Goldfish that live in dark environments with dull surroundings and little or no lighting often change to a blackish color. Some goldfish only suffer from their fins changing, while there are more extreme cases where the whole fish turns jet black as it suffers continual stress over time for years on end, leading up until its death by suffocation due to not being able to breathe anymore because all traces of oxygen have been consumed away except what we humans put into our aquariums intentionally. Bad idea. Goldfish are colorful fish and some people enjoy the changing colors that their tank provides. However, if you want to prevent your goldfish from turning an unusual color because of decreasing light or lack thereof in its environment, there is a simple solution. Add more lighting while also adding decorations with bright hues like oranges and reds so they can continue being expressive without any issue on how much time swims by as well anymore, even when it has nothing else going for them than just looking drab inside most during day length changes each season. 2. Ammonia burns. Ammonia burns. Goldfish are prey animals that have evolved to be black because it makes them blend in with their surroundings. Ammonia changes, or fish diseases caused by bacteria on the scales of other fishes can cause a color change from greenish yellow best orange brown orange red, which is not pretty at all. Ammonia is a toxic chemical that's produced inside your fish aquarium. Most don't realize it, but caring for these delicate creatures in captivity can be very difficult. Fish produce this gas through waste and decay of uneaten food or plant matter on its surface. If left unchecked, ammonia levels will build up until they reach dangerous heights which could have adverse effects on the health of both you and the ammonia abusers. Luckily, there are plenty ways to keep those pesky spikes down. At least one routine cleaning session each week should do quite nicely. Just make sure not too much organic material builds up beforehand, because then we'll end. What causes high ammonia levels? If your goldfish turns black due to high ammonia levels, he has actually had small burns on his scales and skin. Once you remove the waste and give a water change of 60%, the ammonia should begin drop for good. The damaged areas will start healing at this point too, but there's no chance that these patches ever go away because they were so badly burned in the first place. 3. Disease. Goldfish turning black due to disease is rare, but not impossible. The illness in question has been called black spot or ichthyophthirius urethrae infection for those who are interested on learning more about its symptoms and how they can be treated effectively with medication from your veterinarian. Goldfish are susceptible to this disease, and it can be a serious problem for them. The goldfish in ponds have more chances than those living at home with you on an enclosed aquarium wall. Because of that unfortunate reality, many fishermen often come across diseased or infected ones while out fishing, especially during these hot summer months when there's lots of algae growth happening underwater too. In some cases, fish infected with black spot disease show up as spots of darker pigmentation on their bodies. The type and number of these spots vary from case to case, but can be outright alarming if it's severe enough, because then you might have small crowds or even large tumors. 4. Genetics. Goldfish are known for their crazy color patterns, but it's possible to change them. Some goldfish have been genetically disposed towards changing colors. One example is the mixed breed fish, which most likely you'll find at your local market. They're often cheaper because of this trade and sometimes come with strange colors already on them from other parents, in addition to whatever mutation may cause their singularities. Interesting word choice. If one parent has tan markings, while another dad or mom only has black skin patches, then there will be a golden cast over those parts, giving an overall appearance not unlike what humans might call Indian copper. These types do exist, so keep looking if that sounds appealing. Goldfish may change colors when they transition from the juvenile stage to adult. This happens within 1 year or two, and you might not notice it at first, since goldfishes develop darker patches on their bodies that could be accompanied by some lighter areas too. Goldfish can turn black as well. If you're buying a goldfish from the store, it's likely that they were dyed rather than being born this color, and there is nothing wrong with their health or lifespan at all in these cases. However, if someone owns an aquatic animal themselves, then chances are good enough that he or she will know exactly why certain breeds do have some genes which make them display traits such as changing colors over time, because of how complex our genetic makeup has become since evolution started occurring long ago. Can they turn back to their original color? Goldfish turning black is not a rare occurrence and can be caused by many things. It's important to know the cause so that you're able to treat your fish accordingly, but as long as it isn't too serious of an issue, there will only be minimal effects on their health or quality of life due to this change in coloration. You never know how your fish will respond to a spike in the tank. If they turn black because of ammonia poisoning, then you should be concerned about whether or not it's going to make it through this tough time for them, and if we can do anything else at all. You may be noticing that your goldfish is not acting like their normal self. They are shyer, more sluggish, or less active than before, which could all point to an illness. If you notice any of these signs, check in with a vet immediately, as it can be difficult for people who don't know much about fish diseases and what they look like when there's something wrong with them. In the long run, if you take care of your goldfish and address any ammonia issues before they arise again, then these burns won't happen as often. Conclusion: when a fish turns black, it typically means that the water is polluted or there are too many toxins in the tank. They may also have been exposed to high levels of ammonia from their own waste. Black goldfish can be saved if they're given time and space to breathe. Commonly asked questions. Do goldfish turn black when they are unhealthy? One of the most common causes for goldfish scales turning black or fins to turn up in a strange color is ammonia. In other words, they are suffering from a type of poisoning that can be prevented by changing their water regularly and making sure it has enough natural ingredients like plants and peat moss, which will absorb any excess chlorine before you use them on your fish tanks again. Goldfish are notoriously messy fish. They're also regularly overfed by folks who considered them a casual pet. But when their messes aren't cleaned up and their extra food is removed from the aquarium, the waste rots and release toxic ammonia into the water. This causes many severe health issues that ultimately end in death for your fish. So check your water parameters often to make sure this doesn't happen. What does ammonia poisoning in fish look like? Ammonia poisoning can happen suddenly or over a period of days. Initially, the fish will appear to be gasping at the surface for air, and their gills may take on colors like red or lilac as they become more sensitive towards light during this stage. If you don't get rid of any dangerous substances in your tank soon enough, it's possible that these symptoms might lead up being irreversible damage done by ammonia levels increasing too much within its system without us noticing until later on. Downplay how bad things really are now, we hope. As time goes by with no progress made against getting back under control. As the damage from ammonia poisoning continues, the fish's tissues begin to deteriorate, evidenced by red streaks or bloody patches on their body and fins. Ammonia poisoning will eventually cause damage to the brain, organs, and the central nervous system. You'll see the fish begin to hemorrhage, both internally and externally. How can I save my goldfish from dying? Quarantine the fish. One of the first things you have to do when a goldfish falls ill is separate them from other fish in their aquarium or tank. This will avoid contamination, as some diseases can be contagious and affect both healthy creatures and sick ones too. Change the water once you have isolated the sick fish from the others. It's important to change water in their bowl a couple times. At this point, don't add any additives or salt and keep an eye on them for about an hour before giving up hope. There is always a chance that they will respond with some sort of movement after being given new fluids, so monitor carefully. Start with medications if your goldfish is still at the bottom of its bowl. If it has cloudy eyes, any slime on its body or tail, rot disease, this can be caused by bacteria. Bloody spots, you might have to use fungus treatments like anti-protozoan drugs or antibacterial ones from a pet store.